Okay. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. Thank you for letting us know about the sound. Yes, we are back. We are back, and uh, so we're back with Marcy Miller, and she is the star of Dog Bowl, which is this short film that I wrote and directed. It's recently accepted at the 2015 Sundance Film Festival. We received over 8,000. They received over 8,000 shorts submissions, and they picked 60. It's 60 shorts, and the 60 short films were broken down between animation, documentary, world narrative, and U.S. narrative. There is 14 U.S. narrative films out of over 8,000. But the 8,000 encompasses everything, so it's animation and international and everything. But there's only 14 U.S. narratives. So we are one of the 14 out of all those submissions. We got very, very lucky, and Marcy was a huge part in the movie. I told the story earlier about John Cooper and Bennett Miller both being impressed by her performance, and I think that she is a huge key to that. So we were talking earlier about that. And if you have any questions about Sundance, it's a very, very difficult thing that we pulled off. So we feel very fortunate, and we have great people. Petra Hayden did the score, and Kristen Kachikis did the photography. Marcy obviously is the star, and Brian Schofield, who worked on the recent Terrence Malick film, and he's working right now with Warren Beatty. I can read the chat. So you can you guys can start giving us questions now. So go ahead and ask away if you have any questions about anything, and I will also pull up the ones that Century had earlier. We'll get those going here. Is there any type of movie that you wouldn't do, Marcy?
Oh,
horror?
I don't love, horror films.
I had a really good idea for a horror movie, and I thought you could do it.
Really?
Put her on the spot.
I don't love it. The kind of B horror thing. But it depends on the story. There's not like a genre. There aren't genres specifically that I hate. I don't want to do porn. I don't want to do porn.
Okay, so she's not going to do porn. Thank you, Marcy. I'm glad you confirmed that. We were hoping that you wouldn't do porn. I know, right? So anyways, you're not going to do porn and horror. Sometimes the scripts maybe aren't strong enough, but it's really a script thing.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. It's so it's not like you wouldn't probably do an action movie or a rom-com if the script wasn't there. If you didn't feel connected.
Yeah, I would totally do those things if the script was there. If the script's not there, I see what you're saying.
The script's not there. That's where. Yeah. Okay. Is it expensive to go to Sundance and stay there as a filmmaker if you get in? It really is. It's very, very expensive. I was very fortunate because I have a family friend. It's a long story, but basically I have accommodations that are being donated to us, to me and my mother, and a couple members of the team. But it's very, very difficult. I wish it was a little bit easier for filmmakers and the people that are in the films to go up, because I think it makes it hard for people to go right now because it's not like a big city, Park City, so it's difficult. What do you think was the best part of Dog Bowl? As an author or actor, can you spot objectively and say, hey, this was good? What do you think is the best thing about Dog Bowl?
Like in the film?
Right now. What about the making of it? What was the best part of making it? Other than working with me.
Right.
Other than just spending time with me, being around my genius, setting that aside.
To me, Dog Bowl was such a special experience because there were so many things that kind of got in the way, so many things that didn't necessarily run very smoothly. I think all of the challenges that we kind of encountered along the way are part of the reason that it's such a sweet, awesome experience that we get to go to Sundance. So I think the whole process, like, I would not change a thing. I would not
No.
change the trouble that we had with, like, watching you figure out how to end the thing, like, with figuring out the right people and casting and everything was awesome. It was awesome. Like, the experience itself was so good.
It's really, it's so educational to make a movie, and you realize that having faith, working through problems, being able to keep your head through problems, you know, it pays off. You know, you keep, you know, like, oh, we'll be able to get somebody else, and somebody leaves the project, you know, you don't think they're going to do that. So what about the film now? I mean, what do you think is the best part of the film now? Like, just looking at the film.
Gosh, I mean, like a specific.
Well, you know what I mean. Just like a element of it that you. I mean, other than your performance.
No, not that. I love the story. I mean, I think the whole reason that it works is the script. This is the story. I mean, Gordy wrestled really hard with trying to figure out a lot of specific scenes, and specifically the big end scene, how to make it all come together. And I remember him driving downtown to my house on multiple occasions, like, watching him, like, just think and read and, like, rehash it all out. I mean, that was such a learning experience for me about just, like, okay, you have an idea, you have the story, like, finish it and do it well. Like, do it really, really well. Or or, like, forget it.
Yeah, and then the shoot goes really, really well.
Oh, yeah.
Has a screenplay ever been written with a specific actor in mind? With you in mind, Marcy? Yeah, I mean, I think that I would definitely work with Marcy again. We hope to work again, and we also hope to, you know, and I would imagine that I would be like, oh, that would work, and that will happen. Because we were working on Dog Bowl the whole time, it's always been about Dog Bowl, and so there really hasn't been that happening. But definitely, because Marcy's going to be huge, and she's so gifted that she can do so many different things. She's so cinematic, beautiful to look at, but then she can get in there and just do anything. You'll be really, really taken when you see her actually start to. Do you ever research period roles for class? They seem like they would require work to be authentic. Have you ever done any kind of, what's that like? What do you do?
Oh, I love it. I mean, honestly, I get online and I read a lot of just literature just to kind of familiarize myself with, like, what they do on a daily basis and what they wear, all of that stuff. It's really interesting to me to learn about their clothes, because it's a lot of different periods. They wear what they're wearing for specific reasons in regard to what they do on a daily basis and everything. So I look at everything. I look at everything, chores, what kind of houses they lived in. I mean, and you can just even get on the internet is so valuable now. I mean, it's awesome. I had to do a couple times where I've done, like, 50s westerns type stuff, and that was really cool. And then in class, it's a lot of like 1800s British stuff too. So I love it. I think it's so much fun.
That's cool. When you read through the whole script, did you instantly know and plan out how you'd approach it before you start to film, or do you wait till the cameras start to roll and then let it happen?
I have to do a lot of work before I go there. I mean, I never try to... Before I show up on set, I mean, you have a general plan, and this was such a great experience because we had so much time to spend with it and talk about it, and I gained a lot of knowledge because we had that time about and hearing Gordy talk about the story and everything. But I always have a plan, and I never, like, commit to it so fully that I don't want to allow things that happen in the moment to kind of be used. I mean, I always want to keep a sort of improvisational sense of what's going on, and you never know what the other actor is going to bring unless you have specific rehearsals. I mean, I think a lot of really cool things can happen for me when things kind of go wrong. I always like to keep going. And I love seeing movies where I kind of think, like, oh, I don't know if that was, like, written, if that was planned, or what it was. I mean, that stuff is so cool to me. But I always come prepared.
Great.
I have to.
Are you a method actor? What catalyst do you use to get into a role?
I mean, technically I studied Meisner, but I mean, I think I kind of just do whatever works. I mean, it's I don't follow like a specific formula. I think there are certain characters that require certain kinds of brainstorming, and sometimes I think it's, you know, if I'm gonna be Julia Childs, somebody, I gotta go like cook and do that sort of stuff. So it's a conglomeration of things all the time, all kinds of different stuff.
Is your husband in the industry too? Entertainment industry?
No, he's not.
He's not.
He's not.
Is that weird to have him not in, or is it good?
I mean, for me, I think it's good. I think it's nice to sort of have somebody that's completely unrelated to because so many of my friends and the people that I know are all in the industry. It's kind of a breath of fresh air sometimes to kind of go home and just
do something different. Talk about something different.
My
yeah,
goodness.
yeah, that's great. Would you like to do a role where you could use your music and vocal training?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I haven't done very much singing in LA at all, and that's like the thing that I've always done. Like everybody, I think, knows me more for that than anything else. Like at home, like where. So
you should do a musical. That's what you really should do.
Sure.
Right.
It's something. It would be interesting. I've thought about like some sort of jazz singery, like interesting, dark something kind of role, film noir role or something.
Oh, that's interesting.
Cool.
Are you pitching me something right now, or?
You know.
Okay.
No.
she's well, if you got anything, she's like pitching you guys, okay?
Now that you mention it.
What was it like working with the dog? Was the dog a prima donna?
No. Yeah,
you gotta move closer to the camera so everyone can see how beautiful you are.
Oh, sheesh. The dog's awesome. The dog, I felt like the dog.
Was that dog prima donna?
Awesome. No. That dog was awesome, man.
He was great, right?
I felt like that dog knew what he was doing more than I did half the time. That dog was awesome.
He's a big part of the movie. I mean, it's just like he's like really, really crucial.
So smart.
Really smart dog.
Does Sherry know? Sherry's the dog.
Yeah. Sherry knows we gotta send it. Yeah, I got a hold of her.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, do you have? I don't know if it says you have an agent, lawyer, or manager.
I have an agent, and I have a commercial agent, and I have a theatrical agent, and I have a manager.
Okay.
I do not have a lawyer.
So you're building your team still.
Yep.
You don't have an international publicist for Romania or anything yet?
No.
Okay. You get it. You're just ramping that up, right?
Right.
Okay, well, good. So we're going to get that tomorrow. She's so shy, right? What do you do to master your craft more and more as time goes on? Do you still take class, or what do you do? How do you work on your craft now?
I like to, if I'm not working on something, I like to either try to write or shoot, do scenes, something like that, or be in class. I like to always be working on something that's exercising my creative whatever is inside of me.
Okay.
I think that's important.
That's great. Would you go, Marcy? Would you go back to the Midwest to make films? Would you go anywhere? I mean, you would go anywhere, obviously, but I mean, are you thinking about like, oh, I would love to go back to Indiana, or I would love to make a story? And
I've definitely thought that. I think a lot about. I think I think everybody probably thinks this about their family. I think my family has lots of really interesting stories that are very simple and real, and I would love to tell them someday. I don't know if that opportunity will present itself, but I think that's something I would love to do if I could.
You keep pitching like movie ideas to everybody in the audience and to me, like you're trying to find new things to do or something. I mean, she's like giving you a lot of ideas, everybody,
it's not
for
what
scripts.
I'm doing.
Okay. Music-wise, as a musician, who do you like to listen to prepare for a performance?
Oh, that's interesting. I listen to the Jazz Channel a lot.
What's the jazz on Spotify?
Just like LA local.
Oh, like local, the radio, yeah.
And I listen to a lot of Ella Fitzgerald recently, like
Ella Fitzgerald, that's cool.
And Chet Baker.
And
then what's this girl's name?
You listen to it just because you like it, or you listen to it? You obviously like it, but do you listen to it to prepare yourself before you're going in to do some work?
Not that one.
For the TurboTax commercial, you were.
That was Ella,
Chet.
for sure, Ella. But I think it's Helen Jane. I'm trying to think Helen Jane Long, but she composes like this. classical, gorgeous stuff. It's awesome.
Helen
I
Jane
think it's Helen,
Long.
but that's why I was going
I
to
can
look
find
it up.
it.
Helen, since it's classical, like I don't see her name all the time or hear her voice. Helen Jane Long. Yeah, that's her.
Helen Jane Long.
Yeah, I listen to her stuff a lot.
Okay, Helen Jane Long. You guys ever heard of her? Cyberpunk lounge singer who moonlights as a hit woman. That's a perfect. I mean, that is like the Marcy Miller franchise. Could people contact you on your website to pitch a role for you to to you for a script?
My website is set up that people can like reach me, like there's contact me and it shows up in my inbox.
So they can do that, right?
Yeah,
so I guess we could get. I think that now I made it so that you can actually. I think that
works.
I made it so that you can come through. Actually, we never knew that, but now we know we can add HTML. That's Marcy Miller, and then the other, just if you're looking for the Dog Bowl T-shirts that we were talking about earlier, that's where the website is for the T-shirts. They're $25 post-paid, and there's also hoodies on there too. So check those out. No dice, Gordo. What's that mean? It's not coming through. It's not. It's still censored. Okay, look. I'll figure. Watch this. Okay.
I do use to assist in your acting career.
Does it go through now? There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, I do this. Yeah, go ahead.
Social media stuff. Yeah. I try to not get too crazy with it, but it's kind of inevitable that in this day and age you have to use some social media stuff to kind of promote things. So yeah, I do. I'm Marcy Miller on Facebook and Marcy Miller on Twitter.
Yeah, you gotta do it.
You gotta do it.
Instagram and you interact with people. It's good. I think social media is great for artists and storytellers because your audience is out there. And how long was the shoot? How long does the short play? Well, the shoot was 3 days long, and the short is 19 minutes with credits. We went through music artists that inspire you. Mm-hmm. That dog can really hold a thoughtful stare. That was what we did. Was when we went and saw Sherry. Mm-hmm. We told her, she read the script. We were telling her about the story, and we needed sort of a thinking dog. Dogs that sort of look like they actually are sort of partially human, or they can think. That was what we were looking for, and that's what that dog is. That's like. Marcy, what are your favorite American actresses?
Oh, you know who I grew up with? I grew up watching Jane Powell. Like, I grew up watching the same 15 movies over and over again.
Jane Powell,
all starring, like, Jane Powell. And for me, that laid a huge foundation. I remember watching her do all kinds of stuff. Hit the deck, like Seven Brides or Seven Brothers. My mom had lunch with her one time as some random encounter, and so she gave us all her movies and autographed them all. So that was like
huge.
Yeah, huge.
Jane Powell. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so so now do we have any other questions? You guys have any other questions? I'm going to go back to the original list that Century gave me some more, will we find out anything scandalous about you from the hacked Sony emails? Well, I don't think so, because we haven't done any business with Sony yet, so I don't think that there's going to be anything. Okay, so I'm going to start going. I've got some questions here. Got a super low budget script that I'm trying to decide whether to shop or try to self-produce. Your advice. Well, it's up to you. It's like you can do either one, and it just depends on whether or not you think you can make it better on your own. Or I think it's hard to say. It's just like it's very difficult sometimes to get somebody else involved. with something, and you might, if you feel like you could produce it, and if it's a super low budget script, then why wait around for people to do that, you know? So, Marcy, can you do accents like New York or, I mean, do you do accents?
Yeah.
Where'd you learn to do that?
I mean, you just kind of encounter it. I mean, I have, and for auditions and stuff, I have to do a lot of Southern. I do a lot of Southern. I do a lot of British. I've had to do Boston. I auditioned for Fargo. Not that, so I had to do the Minnesota.
Oh, so she auditioned for Fargo. You know that show, Fargo?
Yeah.
How'd that go? You got called back, though.
It was cool. Yeah, it was cool. I didn't get it.
Yeah, but you got called back, though.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you're close.
Close. We're getting there.
Do you know how to do a Vancouver Romanian accent? Have you ever heard of that?
I don't think I even know what that is.
Okay, well then you need to work on your accents, because that's something that's typical. I mean, if you're going out with TurboTax commercial auditions, you know, they're like, okay, Vancouver, go. Okay, does a lot of rehearsal with non-actors kind of cancel out how green a person is on camera? Does a lot of so when you're auditioning, when you're getting ready for a thing, do you try and work with actors or non-actors? Is it hurt you when you like get ready for an audition with somebody who's not an actor?
You mean like as a reader or something, like a rehearsal? Not really, because I don't know. I don't pay too much attention to that for the audition process. When I'm auditioning, I'm more self-aware than I am when I'm actually filming something. When I'm filming something, it's all about the other actor, and you try to put your attention on them and what they're doing. But when I'm auditioning, I'm like still thinking too much, I think. So it doesn't faze me. And sometimes people get more into it than others for the readers in the audition room. So you kind of pretty quickly get over that, I think.
Is the city of LA flexible with getting cheap permits to shoot? They do have, they do really help you get those permits, but it's not necessarily, you know, cheap. Like, you know, and so you definitely should try and work with the city, but there's definitely ways they really try and help you, and there's companies that actually help you too. But I think you probably... It's sort of goes with the territory that everything's going to sort of be permitted up pretty well, and you're going to have to go through certain things to get the permits. But I don't think that I think that they want filming to take place in California and definitely the city of Los Angeles. So they don't want to make it so hard to do that. So they're going to work on that. Now. Can you give us a sample of your Minnesota Fargo accent?
No.
No, is it not? Okay. It's probably...
I mean, no, it's...
Okay, what about your own in Vancouver?
Oh,
you said you didn't know how to do that one. I didn't know. Okay.
I mean...
How about Bethel?
I think I'm doing my Bethel accent right
now. Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah, it's really good, isn't it?
Do you remember what the accent was you did for Fargo?
It was like straight up Minnesota, like don't you know, like don't. It's.
Did you actually have to? Everyone was don't you know what?
Oh, it's totally. It's
you
like
had
exactly what it is. Yeah. Oh yeah.
You watched the show.
But the thing is about when you're learning stuff for an audition, like I don't learn the whole accent. Like so for me to just like say hi, my name is Marcy in that accent. Like I don't learn that. Like I learn the lines. So it's like whatever the script was, like I could say that because you only have like a couple days to learn it. So I just learn the lines.
You just learn the lines.
Yeah.
Well, you'll have to see. It'll come out someday. What have you seen? A lot of have you seen any of the best actress nominations like Oscars this year yet? Have you seen Julianne Moore, Reese Witherspoon in Wild? Or
I haven't seen a lot of movies.
Yeah, Julianne Moore's got a movie out, so those are sort of the hot picks for movies. So, do you have any specific thing you do when you get stuck on a script and how to conclude a scene? Well, basically, you want to make sure you stay in the chair. You don't think about it. You get in the chair. You keep your hands on the keyboard, and you want to just try and reset the scene from the top and retype it. You don't want to sit there staring at it. If you're really that stuck, you can go back from the top and rewrite it all the way through. That tends to jar things and loosen things. And you always want to go to the scene before too, if you're stuck, and think about like whether or not there's something broken in there. But it's usually retyping the scene and just keeping your hands on the keyboards. If you're using your friends in a movie, would a ton of rehearsal help the fact that they can't act? Well, that's really difficult to deal with. I mean, if you try and do favors when you're making art and you're doing business and filmmaking, you're going to be in trouble. It's very, very risky. And I've made everybody's made mistakes with just sort of looking past things and taking care of people's feelings. You don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. You promise somebody something or whatever, and it's just a recipe for disaster, usually. I mean, it's very difficult to overcome. So, leave your friends and your family for, like Christmas and, family picnics and, just doing other things. And give your work the professional treatment and respect it deserves, and that's how you make, that's how you build a career. You can't keep casting your wife if she's not the best person for the role, and I would always use Marcy. Marcy would be able to be used for a lot of things, but there's a lot of things probably Marcy wouldn't be right for, and even though I love Marcy and want to work with her. And it's just not really sensible and to do that. So that's something I hope no one has to take 20 years to figure out. Okay, they sound pretty bad. Yeah. If they sound that bad, Marcy, is that your real hair or are those extensions?
It is very real. It's real.
That's real?
Really? Are you?
I thought you were wearing a wig.
No.
She's not wearing a wig.
No.
You're not wearing a wig.
I barely even brushed my hair. It's real.
I know. I was like, I thought that was a wig. You actually have black hair.
No, it's
no,
real.
that's her hair. She's gorgeous. She's a freak of nature. Do you have any okay. Marcy, do you have questions about a script when it's time to shoot, or do you get it all sorted out ahead of time?
I mean, if they're questions pertaining to the story and the scene, I always ask anything about the script, all of that ahead of time. But then when I'm on set, logistically, there's a lot of times stuff about like blocking or anything like that. I might ask questions about we're getting ready to shoot, but I try to have all the questions answered in my head as best I can. But things come up. And yes. I'm
writing the last chapter of my book while I'm listening to you guys, so I will have to thank you and Marcy on my acknowledgments. Yes, you should, because we're helping you. And if we weren't here, you wouldn't be able to finish your book. I know some stand-up comedians. Do you think they translate well as actors on camera? I think some of them do, and some of them don't. It's definitely there's a better chance. We have a stand-up comedian that's in Dogbowl, and he plays an incredible role, actually. It's a great moment in the movie, and he's pretty much a stand-up. I don't think he does a lot of acting or he focuses on his stand-up career primarily. I think he probably goes out and auditions for things, but we were very lucky to have him, and we actually tailored the role to what his strengths were physically and emotionally, and it's a great scene, and he is a stand-up comedian, so we had really good success with that. So you can keep asking questions for Marcy. What is the market like for trying to shop a low-budget script, or should I say, okay, that's sort of the same one. How do you test a high concept? I run an idea by, you run ideas by people, and see if they react. It's very, very quick. I would just tell people your idea, don't run it by 50 people because you can wear itself out, but but I always run my ideas by people. It's very important. How did you narrow a festival application? So many. Well, we wanted to submit to Sundance. That was the first one. And we want to submit to basically the top short film festivals, the festivals that celebrate short films and have exposure to industry and big audiences and have a good track record. And that was basically it. We want to make sure that we screen in cities where our families are and where our local people are. We want to screen in New York. We want to screen in Indianapolis. We want to screen in Denver. We want to screen in LA, of course. We want to screen in Austin, where our editor is from. We want to screen in we want to screen all over the country too, and we'd like to screen abroad as well. So we were trying to get into a prestigious international festival like Berlin or Cannes. So those are some of the reasons that we, how we do it. Wonder why they don't start winning shorts in a theater. Well, Sundance actually does go out with a program of short films, and they do show those around country and independent, in theaters. So if you look for those, they do kind of travel around, but they do assemble a program. Okay. Let's go back to some of the questions that we have coming in here. We haven't seen any of the other submissions in our category. We're going to see the other short films when we go to the festival. We're going to actually go and try and see all the other ones to see everything else that's in our Heather just sent me a picture of something weird. What is this? Oh, Joplin's watching. So you guys can't see this very well. I'm sorry. It's a bad photograph, but Heather's dog Joplin is watching the Ustream. So very cute. So that's what we intend to do. We haven't seen any of the films yet, but we're looking forward to it. Do you audition for roles in sitcoms? Have you auditioned for any roles in TV sitcoms?
Not a ton.
Why? Are you funny?
I mean, I don't know. I think I can be funny. I think I surprise myself sometimes when I can be funny, like in class, or like even the Super Bowl spot is like they have me do it a bunch of different ways, and it was like kind of supposed to be kind of a joke, like kind of.
Oh, okay.
So but I don't think it come off as that. I think it's not. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not as strong at that. I go in for dramatic stuff mostly. I would say. Unless it's like something super charactery and.
Well, that's fun. That's cool. So, if Marcy could or had to play a superhero character, which is the one she thinks she could really do something with?
Superhero character. I feel like I have to look around this room right now to find out what.
She's looking for the comic books.
Oh my god.
What do you know anything about comic books or anything? Wonder Woman or anything?
I don't know a ton about comic books. I hate to do
She would be good though, because she's got the big blue eyes and her skin color and her hair. She looks sort of like she's already, has some power, some sort of weird power. Like she's able to shoot rays out of her eyes or something. No? Go really close. Just lean forward and show. Just go, yee. Come on. Show your power, the eyes. See? She just fried Montana, the whole state of Montana with a ray. Montana, are you okay? Come in, Montana. Okay. Were there any moments in the filming of Dogbowl that you were uncomfortable or unsure of how vulnerable you were willing to go? Mrs. Marvel, you're right. That's a good one. Oh. I'll have to show her that. Mrs. Marvel, that's a great one. Yeah. Captain Marvel. Okay. She would be perfect for that.
Really?
Okay. Yeah, you would. It's actually a good idea. So any moments, what were the sort of most challenging parts for you?
I mean, the end scene, which I mean was challenging, and then some of the love scenes were a little bit challenging because it was kind of my first time ever doing anything like that. But we spoke about it so much beforehand, and everything on the set was very respectful and professional, and so it felt very good. I mean, when you're in that environment and everybody's there and willing to be supportive of what you're trying to do, I mean, it's awesome. You know, it's like I would do anything within in reason. You know, it's you just want to tell the story at that point, and so it opens you up a lot.
You definitely need to have a safe. It was safe, you know. We tried totally to be just safe. Like whatever. We just banged it out and was good, and I think we did. I think we did good. We did good with that.
Yeah.
And the trailer made me feel uncomfortable, so that's a sign that the acting was very effective. Yeah, the character does start off in a very bewildered, challenged place, and Marcy's very good at selling that. So, until what point you think it's okay to rewrite detailed scenes? I think you rewrite it until you're comfortable, and then you know it's locked. I mean, I basically had scenes that I knew in Dogville were like, that's done. I don't need to fix that. I don't need to tinker with that. It's like, there it is, and there it goes, you know. So, yeah, Mrs. Marvel. I'll have to pull out. I don't know if I buy her. Yeah, so I'll have to get. Now, have you acted on stage, or do you prefer movies, and why?
Yeah, I acted on stage a lot. That was what I've had always done until I moved to LA, like 4 years ago. I love both, but I really like film right now. I mean, it just, to me, is such a completely different, interesting way of telling the story. I mean, it's like this art piece that comes together, and you have so many other resources available to you aside from being like through the sound and the light and everything. I mean, you have that to an extent on stage too, but I love the subtlety and the nuances of things that you can do with film. I really dig it.
What's your directing style, Gordy? How do you work with actors? Well, I talk a lot, and I talk too much, and it's like, shut up. Like, I mean, you know, it's like a nightmare. So,
it's not a nightmare.
Yeah, it is. See, there's Miss Marvel. Thank you for the link. That's great. That's an interesting. Well, but there, you know, there's so many different versions.
Oh, totally.
But
there she is.
But she would be good at Miss cool. Marvel. See how she is.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, she'd be perfect. Yeah, Mrs. Marvel. I just try to say little. I just know that generally I've already cast somebody that's super smart and really brilliant. And I just trust, you don't have to over-explain things with really good actors. You can usually they're so intuitive and perceptive and really smart and super intelligent and really educated that you can literally just sort of say like a sentence, and it's just enough, and they're like, and actors love just hearing a little bit, and I just try to get out of the way, and just because I know that the longer I say things, it's just sort of like right now, I've taken like 3 times as long as I needed to say what I was going to say. I just try to do that. I try and cast really well. I try and write really well, and then I give them very little notes. I mean, I give them a note, but I try and do it in less, like few words, so that they can just, you know, take it in and just do it. So, no, she's Captain Marvel. Yeah. No, it's Captain Marvel. I realized they took the actual Captain Marvel and they made him a girl recently. So they took it from the Shazam character guy over it. I don't know. Was it that? Well, it was it was a lawsuit. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. I used to buy Shazam too in the 70s. Gordy, Marcy, how was Gordy's style of directing different from the other directors you worked with? Did he make you feel safe to open up? You can be honest. He won't be mad at you. All right, Marcy.
No.
Tell me how awesome I am. Be honest. Be honest, Marcy. How lame was it?
No,
she's like,
it was
oh my
awesome.
God, shut up.
No, it was awesome. Honestly, no, it was.
How is it different from other directors?
Honestly, I felt like your vision was much clearer than a lot of other people that I had worked with, and you were super passionate about it, like to the point that it didn't. I mean, we always were trying to like get the film made, and that was the goal. But like, you were not going to compromise the story for the sake of like money or what was more convenient or what you had done or didn't have done. You know, it was just like super committed, super clear, and then super collaborative. I mean, I think Gordy has a really clear idea of what he wants, but he's never closed to hearing what somebody else has to say, even if they're not in that department. You know, like, I think that's awesome, and I think it really is a testament to why it is what it is. And then
I determine if they're right or wrong and dismiss what they have to say. Basically, I will listen to everybody, and then I will tell them to go away if they're not useful. The new female Thor, the girl version, she would be good because she's got the kind of the Nordic hair thing going on. What's the background? Irish, totally Irish, or
like pretty much totally Irish, maybe a little German, but totally Irish.
Totally an Irish vibe.
Yeah.
How far can you go around making references? What is the point it becomes trouble? I'm not sure what that question is. 6712. So can you clarify?
Like referrals?
I don't know. References. Yeah, just tell us what that question is. Again, because I can get. Were any scenes completely written on set? No. Mm-hmm. No, we had some stuff written late, but nothing was written on set. There's just no way. I'm like sort of I really believe in the sort of the Kurosawa, Hitchcock, you lock script before you go. I'm not one of these, who cares, make it up. I'm like, that's not how it's going to happen for me, and it's just, I don't believe in that. I don't think I don't know. I know sometimes it works, but I'm not good enough to do that. How far can you go, or whatever that means? Right? Did you end up having a rap party?
We kind of didn't, did we?
No, we just were like, goodbye, hope to never see you again. It was like, everyone just ran to their cars like, I'm freezing, I hate this place, I hate everybody here, goodbye! Right? You've never seen anyone you've worked with from that movie ever since, have you?
I've seen Tomas a couple times. He's come over for dinner a couple times.
I was being facetious. You've seen a lot of people, I think, haven't you? We haven't had a rap party, but we are going to have a big dog bowl party in LA when it sort of screens finally. We're going to have a big party for everybody. That's going to be sort of like a premiere party. We didn't have a rap party because I don't even think we thought about that. Well, it was so late, it was cold, no one cared.
Yeah, we were done.
Yeah, we were done. It was just too cold. I'm going back and looking at some of the things. How often in a week do you... Oh, okay. Who from Dog Bowl is going... How far can you go? Well, lunch. Let's wrap for lunch. Lunch, everybody. Yeah. That was good. Did you see that video? That was a good one. That was funny. Did you ever see that Kickstarter where I'm like practicing calling for lunch?
No.
Oh, yeah. It's so funny. It's good. I'll show it to you. It's really cool. I forgot about that one. Thank you for bringing that up. Okay, I mean, you go and make like a world with orcs and wizards, and people clearly sees it as a hint of Lord of the Rings, and the art follows the same lines. Well, yeah, you can say like, I mean, one of the things, well, I can't really talk about it, but we did talk about certain references to movies, or movies, like when we were writing this, we were working on the score, and certain things that we were like, okay, what about this movie? This is what I'm thinking about. and it helped us like get in a zone for something. But I think beyond that, I think that's about, you know, a Dutch treat premiere party is the best way to go.
What's that?
That's a good. Well, you just have everyone bring their own stuff.
Oh yeah.
You know, or bring their own money or whatever. That we might end up doing that if we don't sell these T-shirts. That you guys, we got the T-shirts. Who from Dog Bowl is going to Sundance? Well, Marcy's going to be there for all the screenings. I'm going to be there. The first weekend when the premiere in Park City is, the editor will be there, the producer, the composer, the DP. Pretty much, there's going to probably be about 12 people from Dog Bowl at the first screening. So it's going to be really, really fun. How often in a week do you go out for an audition?
Oh, it kind of varies. I mean,
a couple times a day?
Sometimes, honestly, I mean, sometimes it seems like no matter what, they're all like on the same day. So it's like 3. Sometimes I've had like 4 in a day before, but I would say on average 2 to 3 times a week is normal. It's kind of slow right now. It's because of the holidays.
Yeah.
Like things are kind of shutting down here, but
you banged out the Super Bowl commercial, so you're good.
Banged it out.
Right? You're going to be able to get Gordy his favorite G.I. Joe doll for Christmas, right? Right? Yeah.
The plane.
Yeah, where's the plane?
Yeah, where's the plane?
Yeah, you got the plane. We didn't have a lot of time. I wanted to show you the book I got on eBay. Here's this book. It's Matthew Brady. You can't really see it. Sorry. It's basically Mr. Lincoln's cameraman. Do you see that? Mr. Lincoln's cameraman, Matthew Brady. And it's a book. This came out in the 40s. And Matthew Brady was a guy who worked with cameras in the early 1840s, 1850s. And he took photographs all through the Civil War. And this is a picture of Abraham Lincoln that he took. You know, it's amazing, this book. I love this book. I really didn't have time to do it because we were talking so much about Dog Bowl, but I love this. Look at this Robert E. Lee picture. So it's just very good. It's like this amazing. I love books like this because there's so much story in here, but it's just amazing that this guy was taking pictures. Look at this. This is Lincoln at a battlefield. He's just standing out there with his hat on. But I'll show you a picture of the photographer. This is the photographer. Look how he looks just like a little artist. Look at him with his hat. See the hat, and that's Matthew Brady, and he that's him doing. Sorry, I'm like. But he's just very, very cool. He looks exactly like a guy who lived in Silver Lake, you know. And it's from literally from 150 years ago, and he had a camera. During the first screening, will you be paying more attention to the movie or to the audience reaction? I will be paying attention to the audience reaction because I've seen the movie, and I will be very aware of how people are responding to it. I think that's natural. I think you're watching it and you're thinking, are they gonna laugh? Yeah, that's the guy that makes my coffee in Echo Park. It's so true. It's like, I swear to God, it looks just like a guy you would just see rolling around Echo Park, Silver Lake, like, oh, hey, some hipster in Atwater Village, you know, with a camera or whatever, wearing that hat with the beard. The beard's the same as everybody's wearing them now. But it's a great book. I bought it on eBay, and it's just going. I'm like, it so blows my mind because there's so many. It's like these are real photographs, and it's like wow, there they are. Wow, you have to remember they had to sit or stand for at least 5 minutes before the picture was processed. I didn't even know that. See, I just got the book. I just opened it like about a week ago, and I was just looking at the photos. I really want to. The book is actually, because it was written in the 40s, I don't think the book is actually very good. It's sort of like I want to read it for the facts, but I think it's sort of, I'm already starting to look at some of it, and it seemed kind of exaggerated and strange. But, Marcy, what are your top 3 favorite films?
I loved Hit the Deck growing up, and that is a Jane Powell movie.
Hit the Deck
all the time. There's a movie I really like called Electric Children, and then there's a movie I really like.
What is
And then probably Jolene, just because I like. That's it right there. That's Hit the Deck is straight up like musical.
So that's Hit the Deck, and then what's the other one? Electric Children?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
I think it's CK. Maybe Children. It's just weird. That's it.
Oh, that's interesting. Never seen this one either. This is Electric Children, everybody. So these are two movies I've not really familiar with. These are two of your favorite movies. And then Jolene, was the other one.
Yeah, that's like the thing that put.
This is the Jessica Chastain movie that made Jessica Chastain. Well, because she's older. How old is she?
I don't know. I think she's 40,
early.
I think she's like mid to late 30s, but I don't know.
But she got discovered sort of later in her life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gordy, are you going to write a movie adaptation of the Lincoln photographer book, Marcy, and can play the Mrs. Lincoln?
I think so.
There's a great picture of Mary Todd Lincoln in the book too. It's very, very extraordinary picture of her. It looks very. She looks very, very wound up in the picture too. It's really great. That book is great. They sell them on eBay. I mean, they're not too bad. The one that I got was like it like immediately like broke open, like the binder broke.
Oh,
I have to sort of glue it. See how it sort of fell apart right after I got it. But it wasn't that much. It was I think it was about right. Look at this picture of Andrew Jackson. Like, I don't know, like when he was president, but there's a picture of him just sitting there. Andrew Jackson. I mean, it looks on camera, on the Ustream, it looks really not great because it looks, but in the book, it's like crazy. There's a picture of Brigham Young, Brigham Young. It's a really great photo. Look at that photo of Brigham Young. You can't really see, but in the photo, the detail in the photo is like, wow, you can really see, like, there he is. The photos just look very, very strong in this book. And the pictures of I want to definitely do a Civil War movie. I have a couple ideas. There's many, many stories of the Civil War I would love to do. I'm definitely going to try and do a Civil War movie before I'm done. So, yeah, I love the Civil War. I think it's a very fascinating. I love this 19th century in America is very fascinating. Mm-hmm. So, well, we're almost done. Does anybody have a last-minute thing for Marcy? We're just about ready to finish up. We're going to come back with a Ustream in the first part of the year, and we'll bring in probably the editor and maybe one of the producers, and we'll have more of the discussion of like some of these questions about Sundance and filmmaking and the whole parts of everything and how people react to scripts and stuff. We'll have Marcy come back, and then we'll do a Ustream from I've offered Marcy $10,000 to do a Ustream from Sundance, and she's considering the offer, so I'm not sure if she will take me up on that, but hopefully she will. Anybody else have any other questions before we take off tonight? It's been really great having you here, Marcy.
Yeah, that's fun.
And what's the next? Get money. Okay, very good. What's next for Marcy as far as projects go? That's a good sign-off question. Are you got something scheduled to shoot?
I have a couple things that are kind of like being talked about right now, so it's not a definite, but I think
television stuff or
movie stuff.
Independent things.
Yep. Right now,
you got some stuff you're just not telling us about.
I just don't know.
Why don't you want to tell us?
There's a movie that I'm proud.
I mean, why is she holding back on us?
No, I just don't know, and so you don't. It's hard to say when you don't know exactly. But there's a movie that I might shoot a little part of before we go to Sundance, and then one I might do like right when I get back.
Is there a part that you would play that would keep you from going to Sundance?
No.
No way.
I mean, not
Spielberg.
I mean, let's be realistic. That's not going to happen for me right now.
Oh, so she would.
No.
You know that part in Dumb and Dumber where it's like, so I've got a chance. That's what it is. It's like, so you would go with Spielberg. Yeah. So, have you heard any good things about the scripts you were receiving for the 2015 BlueCat contest? I've heard nothing. All I've heard is bad things. They're not good enough. No. We don't know. We know that she'll be shooting Captain Marvel for Disney during Sundance. I know. You know that's where she would really, she would be out. She would be out. We are going to bring Marcy Miller back with the editor. Hopefully we'll have a nice weekend. I think maybe a Sunday morning session with her and more people from Dog Bowl, and when we have more time to coordinate and everything. But it's really great to see you guys. I'm sorry we had these technical things and we had to go off. It was a little confusing and stuff, but you know, I love being back with you guys, and I love all your questions. And I think hopefully it was entertaining for you guys, and we'll be very, very excited to see you guys again. Like I said, probably between January 1st and the 15th, we'll have another one, and we'll definitely bring back Marcy for more, and we'll let people know about Marcy, and she can tell us about maybe the Super Bowl commercial and other things. And the editor's great, the DP's great. You guys will love it. We'll give you some more. We'll have more people here to help me too. Is that Marcy's dad next to her? You know, we get a lot of comments like that, and you know, every time somebody makes a comment like that, I think that's not funny. That's what I always think. Like right after somebody says that, I'm always like, "Oh, that's not funny." Actually, I am older than her mother, which is really, really.
Not really. I don't think so.
I am.
No.
Your mom's not 50.
Yes, she is.
She is?
Yes.
How old is she 50?
She's 64. She was born in 64.
I was born in 64.
Yeah, she's 50. She turned 50 in March.
Oh, so her mom's just 6 months older. So,
see, yeah. She's older than you.
Yeah, she's older than me by 6 months. So I could never be her father. Obviously. That's not very funny. No, we make a joke where like people are going to be at Sundance, they're going to be like, why did she bring her dad up there for the Q&A?
No.
And I'm going to be like, oh my God. No. So, well, very good. Thank you so much, everybody. I love you guys. And we love seeing you. And thank you very much. We're going to say goodbye. And my birthday is in October. You're right. It was October 19th. I turned 50. So I will see you guys soon. And see you. Have a happy holiday. Merry Christmas. Have a great New Year's. And check out the t-shirts if you want. Help us. That would be awesome. But either way, come back and see us in January. We'll make sure to give you a nice advance date for that. And we'll do one on the weekend. We'll also do one from Sundance, too. So we'll see you very soon, everybody. Love you, and we'll see you soon, okay?
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.